What's up, guys? It's Gnarly, and I'm here with my Anime Expo buddies.
Thank God you didn't stress the Y at the end.
Shut up!
Hey guys, it's NeosAntrax, aka Anthony. What's
What's
going
up?
on?
Oh God!
My turn. All right. My name is Inazuma Zeke, also known as Robbie.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Sky Does Minecraft, also known as Josh, but you can just call me Sky.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about our experience at this year's Anime Expo. This is a video I wanted to do for a while, actually, but couldn't due to schedules. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy, because I have a lot to say about this year's Anime Expo.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh,
as
juicy.
do I.
Yeah, we all
Same
do.
here.
So we're gonna start by, we're basically just gonna go over what we did on each day, and we're gonna start with pre-show day, which I didn't actually go to. The only person
I didn't
here
do
that,
anything.
yeah, none of us went to pre-show except for,
except Robbie.
yeah. Okay, so Robbie, what did you think of pre-show, and what did you do?
Pre-show night was So for first off, the reason why I went and the reason why any of my buddies went was because if you have, so I did what's called the Premier Fan thing, where you have the 4-day pass and the Premier badge, and I got the Premier badge, so that came with the pre-show night, because pre-show night you usually have to pay extra to get into. But anyway, as far as pre-show night is concerned, which happened at day 0, it was pretty cool. It pretty much gives you a taste of what Anime Expo has to offer. If you've never been, I guess, you see cosplayers, walking around. A couple locations that you usually don't find open until the con actually starts was open. Save I think for the exhibit hall, but the entertainment hall, which is basically the section for gaming and all that, was completely open, fully featured and everything. And me and another friend of mine that also did pre-show night were walking around, and it was pretty cool. Like as an appetizer for what Anime Expo has to offer, it was pretty cool. But if you're looking at it as kind of like objectively as a day, it's again, there's not much to go off of, but all in all, it was pretty cool.
Like,
Got a bunch of pictures.
Would you have gone if it didn't come with your Premier Pass?
No, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about going, but then I looked at the program and I'm like, there's not a lot going on.
There's
Yes.
honestly, there's nothing really worth mentioning. Last year when that happened, I remembered this was before Kingdom Hearts 3 had come out. They had Kingdom Hearts 3 on like to try out, and just get let's get the pre-show night badge, so that way we can use that time to try out Kingdom Hearts 3, because after that, the line for that is going to be enormous. So, but this year they didn't really have anything like that. I remember waiting for Anime Expo, for this year's Anime Expo to happen, thinking that maybe Square would have like a demo for Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I was hoping they would do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same here.
but unfortunately they didn't really have anything.
Last year they also had Dragon Quest, and if you played it, you got a T-shirt.
Yeah,
Sick.
unfortunately, yeah, this year there's for the entertainment hall, as well as as far as what they had ready for pre-show night, was mostly just VR stuff. A friend of mine and I tried out the Little Witch Academia racing VR, that I think it's on Kickstarter or something like that. But other than that, yeah, nothing else of note.
If I may interject here, I really do believe that last year's AX was a little bit better when it came to like content, when it came to like video games in general, because you did have Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts. You did have a lot of like, you had FGO VR as well.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff to do on the gaming floor, or like the entertainment hall.
Oh
And
yeah.
like in comparison to this year's, it's a little lackluster in my opinion, and they had it perfect last
Yeah,
year.
like Square wasn't even there this year. At least I didn't see them.
I mean,
Not as much.
like
no.
every year, you're not always gonna have hits. right? You're gonna have some years better than others because of the games that are coming out and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But
it's like Kingdom Hearts 3 was last year, but this year there's nothing really major that came out.
Then again, people who didn't have the premiere pass or like the pre-show pass, it's like it wasn't even worth like spending the money to go out.
No, honestly.
Yeah,
So,
I think it should just be included with the regular badges.
exactly, like it should be an option. It's like what, an extra $20? Like
What was it?
In fact, just put that extra $20 on top of the passes that you pay
Or
for.
have like a bundle that's like you buy, like if you buy the badge and the pre-show badge at the same time, the pre-show badge is only like $5 or $10.
The only time that I can say that where they do that is during the Black Friday sale, where if you buy the 4-day pass, it's like $80, and I think it comes with, well, not $80, sorry, it's like $60, and it comes with pre-show night.
I bought mine on Black Friday. It didn't come with the pre-show.
Oh, you know what? That might have been last year then. They
Yeah.
might not have done that with this year's pass.
And
That's another thing too.
Like you're gonna bring that up, like the amount that they sell on Black Friday, it's like super limited. Because I remember I was at work and like as soon as they went on sale, like I went into the app and I bought my badges, and then Anthony tried to do it like 10 minutes later and they were out.
They yeah, it's funny because
that's another thing. This was Cyber Monday, and I was at a funeral, so I wasn't able to purchase the passes when they first went live. So like 10 minutes after they went live, I wasn't able to purchase them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I was at work, like as soon as I got that notification, I just ran to the bathroom, hid in the stall, and then bought it, so that my manager wouldn't yell at me.
Yeah, I noticed that they that the Black Friday 4-day pass sold out way quicker than the premiere ones, because the premiere one also sold out within like the first hour, but you were at least able to get a couple glimpses of getting the premiere badge if you wanted to, whereas with the 4-day pass, the Black Friday 4-day pass was like just non-existent pretty much within like the first few minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that like the pre-show badge, it should either be included if you buy it early enough or just be cheaper. I mean, it sounds to me like it's not worth the $20 that you have to pay for it.
if we're talking in terms of price, and I know we're kind of going like interjecting a little bit, if we're talking in the terms of price, of like if it's worth out to go to AX, I kind of say it's in the gray area. I wouldn't say it's worth coming out if you're like across the globe. Like let's say you live in, I don't know, like Europe or like India or something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fly out all the way here just for an anime con, especially how shitty AX was ran this year, which we'll get into detail later on. I wouldn't say it's worth it for anyone across the world unless you're that desperate to see what it's like. Like,
well, I would say like if you're gonna come here from like Europe or somewhere, I'd say like you do it like just to visit Los Angeles, and then you just do Anime Expo as kind of a bonus.
Like a lot, yeah. Just don't.
Yeah. If you're going there, yeah, just don't go for AX because it's not worth your time. Like, there's a lot of better things to do in Los Angeles.
All right, so yeah, I guess that's it for pre-show day. And now we get into day one, or as I like to call it, LineCon day.
Oh no!
Definitely multiple perspectives of that one.
Okay, let's do Ravi first.
Yeah.
Because
okay,
he
had a premiere pass, so he was able to skip the line.
So, yeah, quote unquote skip the line, which, I mean, again, don't get me wrong, it definitely did cut a lot of time in terms of going in, but from my perspective, since when you, so I guess a little bit of info regarding what the perks are for Premier Pass, but if you have a Premier Pass, you have, you can go into the exhibit hall an hour early before anyone else, which means that you basically can focus on whatever the big vendors are, go to their lines, get what you need, and then get out. But me and my other friend that had the Premier Pass went in around, I'd say around like 8:15ish, because the exhibit hall officially opened around like 10 a.m. For us premiere fans, we had it for like, no, actually no, not 8:15. We went in around like 8:40, I think, because basically here's the kicker here. It took us, premiere fans, exhibitors, press, everyone was all going into the same line, and it took us a good solid 40 minutes to get in. And the main reason why, again, just for premiere fans as well as the general fans, which again we'll get into how long it took for them to get in, was because this year they had these airport style like customs like checkout, like, you know, check-in areas where you basically have like all these different like metal detectors and stuff lined up. And I say a bunch with air quotes because they only had like 3 or 4 per entrance. And then they kind of like pat you up, they check your bags and all of that, but it's all single file. And that was a big reason why it took, again, for premiere fans, again, the top line that costs like a buttload of money for us to get into, for us to get the badge.
Isn't it like
40
500
minutes.
US?
Yeah, it's about, yeah.
500 US. You're spending 500
I guess
US.
on sale it would have been like $350 or so, I heard. But again, this sale pretty much goes up like a few days after AX ends, and that one sells out really fast compared to like a lot faster actually compared to the Black Friday AX 4-day passes. Again, if you could be able to wrap your mind around that. So yeah, so going in was a nightmare. I only got about like what, 5 minutes, because on paper I got about like 20 minutes before the exhibit hall actually opened. But unfortunately, I guess fortunately and unfortunately, the exhibit hall actually opens 15 minutes before it actually says on paper.
Yeah, I was hearing from from like several tweets I was reading on Twitter while we were in LineCon
Yeah.
that they let everybody in early to the point where like the vendors didn't even start setting up their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was like, it was just like, it was pointless because you're letting the premiere fans in, right? When all the vendors aren't even set up, like the core shit that has to be set up before
So
you can even
basically,
get in
like,
there.
premiere fans are just walking around like a half-empty venue.
Yeah.
With the entertainment hall only done.
Wonder if anything got stolen.
I'm pretty sure something
maybe.
got stolen.
But in all,
yeah, just go ahead.
yeah. But yeah, because that's how bad it was. I was in line with actually a couple of the vendors, and I think one of them said that like, yeah, this is fucked because we can't even like get in. And then like when I did get in, and again, the one that I really wanted to get into was the Atlas booth, and I only had like I said, on paper I had 20 minutes to kind of cruise around while it's not open. But again, since the exhibit hall opened 15 minutes before, I actually only had 5 minutes to get in, cruise around. Again, quote unquote cruise around. It was more like a dash towards, okay, where do I want to go? Where was it at last year? Okay, it's still here. All right, I'm in line. And yes, there was still
basically.
a line. Yeah, because vendors still needed time to prepare.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
If you thought that was bad, okay. Our experience.
I think I think I had the worst experience out of all you guys.
We sat in the same line, John.
Okay, no, but I got in before you guys.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because you guys saw the line and then you went to IHOP and then I just got in line. Okay,
yeah, Anthony and I cut in line.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna be honest here. We cut. Okay.
Okay. So
we cut the crap out of the.
Yeah.
We cut like literally probably like an hour and a half off of our line, and it still took 2 hours to get in.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened? What happened with me was I got there before I got there before all you guys did, or I don't know about Robbie, but okay. So I saw the line to get into the, I believe it was the West Hall. It was. Well, okay, but anyway, so I saw the line, and by the time I finally got to the end of the line, it was literally a mile long. Like, I checked Google Maps, the line was a mile long, it was single file, and it was barely moving. So I kind of took that opportunity to just, like, talk to people about Smash and stuff, We were like playing some music, so I at least made some friends out of that. But the total time that I got in line to when I actually got into the convention center was 4 hours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh
Talk
my
about
gosh.
wasting
Yeah.
most of your day in a goddamn line.
Yeah.
Just to get into a con that you spent a bucket load of money on.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing was, like, there were multiple lines, and some of them weren't even leading anywhere. Like, they didn't have anybody pointing you to the end of the line. Like, next to the one I was in, there was this one line, and I asked them, I'm like, is this a line to get in? And they're like, oh, we think so. And then...
Literally, no one knew where the other line is. You would ask someone, they're like, I think it's the end of the line here.
Yeah, there was no staff guiding people around there.
People were just like...
So eventually,
no
they just kind of like merged the two lines, and that made everything slower. And then when we were almost there, we were all cramped together in like that little hallway before the center. I mean, you guys were with me.
Okay, I want to talk about Anthony and I's experience first, because, as well, after John's, because John was in line for the whole time. Anthony and I saw the line, and we said, fuck no, and we left, and we went to go get something to eat. Then we felt the earthquake, then we came back, the line got even longer. We thought it was gonna, like, because last year at AX, it went fast. Like, there was a little bit of a line, and then we, like, took a break, and then after a while, it was just, like, it just kind of dissipated and people were getting in smoothly. So we were like, you know what? It's going to just go smoothly. Come back, line's even longer. And it's like, oh my gosh. So we cut. And then we just wait there for like 2 hours.
Kept cutting and cutting and cutting to the point where we got to like almost where like the check was. And then it was really, really slow. Like getting right into like the midpoint was really slow. And then after that, it got so bad to the point where like literal people were passing out because of the sun heat.
Yeah, there was that lady that passed out behind us.
Like, think about it. There's like millions and millions of fucking weebs. Also, weebs that haven't showered within fucking hours.
It smelled bad.
And there's all the body heat
in the California heat.
Just like the
combine that with the body heat.
You have the body heat and the weather heat on top of that. So typically people are gonna actually fucking pass out.
If you've seen the pictures that people took, because there was like a balcony out there that people were taking pictures off and kind of like looking out at the scene, who were already in, probably Premiere fans, and they were looking at it. When you see those pictures and you see people packed in like sardines, that's literally what it was. You had no room to even turn around.
Did you guys see the helicopter view on the news? Like, it was after the earthquake, and on the news it said, like it showed a picture of the convention center with a helicopter view, and then it said people were evacuating from the convention center. I'm like, no, these people are trying to get in.
Yeah.
I didn't feel the earthquake.
Anthony and I felt it pretty bad.
Yeah.
We felt the earthquake.
It was swaying the whole building.
And it was great, because, you know, it was like, oh wow, my first earthquake.
And then you felt one again a day later.
Yeah, I didn't feel either one of them.
What were you doing?
I was at a panel on the second one, but I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, and so apparently they were like there was this hidden entrance in the back that one of my friends went through, but I just walked around looking for it. I couldn't find it, so I just got in the long line. And then apparently, like, to kind of remedy the whole line problem, they were letting a few people in through the premiere entrances that didn't have premiere passes. But it was the amount that they did that with was nothing compared to the amount of people that were waiting in line.
I literally thought it was just fucking favoritism, because I literally saw like few cosplayers just go in there. I'm like,
yeah,
what the fuck's going on?
I'm like, I want
to mention that too. Hold on. There was a way to get in that was really easy, and we actually ended up skipping like a fifth of the line.
Yeah, we probably cut off an hour of our wait time.
We probably cut off an hour of our wait time because a staff came by and saw us with. I had a gun from one of them.
You had Edgar's gun.
I had Edgar's gun, yeah, and then he had the bat, and like we had some other people that were there that also had some props and stuff, and they literally just called us to the front to go to weapon check. Weapon check had no one through. We got in like 2 seconds. It was like stupid.
It was kind of like what I was thinking to do if that didn't happen. Like I was going to like either do 2 things because it was us 3 with Edgar, and then there was like a set of girls behind us, and the one girl was about to fucking die. Like she literally was about to pass out. So then what I was thinking was either 2 things. One, to bust down the fucking like what is it called? The fences right in front of us. The fences right in front of us. Like bust through them and try to like get the line to like disperse into like to try to like
basically to storm the convention.
Yeah, pretty much storm. Or what we could have done is that we would have got this girl made like a whole ruckus and be like, yo, this girl's about to pass out, she needs to get in this convention right now, and just like swarm everybody in that way. But it ended up working out because the con staff came and just like, oh, you guys have props? Why don't we just let you through this way? And
they actually saw my gun and I was holding it, and they were like, you have a weapons? You have weapons check? Just come with me. And then we all just followed them and got in like 2 seconds, and it was like, what?
Yeah, we probably shaved off an hour by doing that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
But the thing is, like, there was like no organization in the line. I think it was maybe like 10 people wide when we were in that part, but they only had like 5 people doing like scanning people, like doing bag checks, when last year there were a lot more. I think there was like 10.
Well, it's to keep in mind. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I felt so bad for the staff because like, what are you gonna do in that situation? You have orders. It all comes from the high management, right? You have orders to go through and do this thorough check to make sure no one is carrying actual weapons or anything that can hurt the convention, because you gotta understand, America's not like the safest place right now, and this is a convention with literally hundreds of thousands of people going to it. It would be a perfect place for a terrorist attack to happen, and so they're doing like some crazy ass check
bullshit
to make sure everyone's safe, and it backfired in their face because there's so many people that you can't do that.
Apparently,
some people are gonna get by. It's like, I don't know what they could have done better, honestly, other than have more people and more entrances.
I mean, honestly, the security felt a bit of overkill to me.
Yeah, apparently even the cops got involved because of just how long the lines were. Because it was a safety hazard.
It was hindering the street traffic and everything. Yeah.
But like talking about the security, here's the thing. Like some of the times, the later days when I went in, like in the no bag line, they didn't ask me to empty out all my pockets, so I had some metal things like my power bank that the metal detector picked up, but they didn't like pat me down or anything. They just told me to go through. Like I could have stuck in there with a gun.
Absolutely perfect.
And for like 100,
perfect.
Yeah, people. I mean, you also kind of have a duty to kind of like let people through, but at the same time, it's just kind of like hitting that compromise where it's like, okay, we want to get everyone as safely as possible, but at the same time, it's like speed is also a matter too.
To be honest, a dude who looks like a twink isn't really the most threatening thing.
You might be surprised because a lot of school shootings that happen.
I mean, I forgot. I was gonna mention the school shooters, but okay, back on topic.
okay, but I just think that I don't know how they remedied it the next day. I think they just.
It was
maybe
better
because
organized.
The next day was not as bad.
Yeah,
we got there. I think it was just better organized. I don't think the thing is, and Ryan, Robbie's friend, was mentioning this.
Yeah.
They have new management every year. I don't know why they don't stick with the old management, but this new management was horrendous. They had no idea the scope they were dealing with, the amount of weebs that were going to be at this convention.
Yeah, I heard that the amount of attendees they got was 350,000.
I think,
which is about average for most anime expos too. It's not.
No, that's the most of any anime expo.
Yeah,
I think last year it was like 100,000 or 200,000.
Really?
No,
okay, I'm gonna check Wikipedia right now.
Okay, Anime Expo, because I've been going to Anime Expo since like 2013. It's been increasing, and it's not really a steady increase. Like other conventions or anything of the sort. It's more like, okay, well, this year we have like, let's say 70,000, and then the next year we have 20,000, and then we get like 120,000, you know, stuff like that. So we get like a good like 30 to 40% increase within like each couple years, which is
Okay, I know Wikipedia is not the most reliable source, but I just checked Wikipedia, and last year they had 110,000 unique attendees, and this year they had 115,000 unique attendees, with over
Wow.
350,000 turnstile go-throughs.
So
I'm
people
pretty sure
re-entering.
it's just the management that's just been.
So it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
shit.
so it's just really not much of a big difference.
It's
No.
a 5,000 person increase,
Yeah.
which is still a lot, but it's like compared to last year and stuff like
Yeah,
that, it's basically
not
the
really
management's
that
issue.
much. Yeah, it's not really that much.
Those metal detectors and stuff, those were. Ugh. They
Yeah.
did not need to
and,
do
and
that.
on top of that, like, I also noticed that a lot of the entrances that were open last year were not open this year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like that's another thing too. Like with the lack of entrances, it does pose a problem, and I really think it's because they're like, okay, we got this much metal detectors, let's put them
Yeah.
in these spots, and screw the rest of the entrances, and make more exits than there are entrances, which makes no sense.
That makes no sense. It's so easy to get out of the convention, but then it's like really hard to get into it. It's like stupid.
Yeah. Okay, so, like, I was also hearing that from the Anime Expo fans group on Facebook that people that didn't have bags were getting in real easily. So after day one, I just didn't go back in with my bag, which it wasn't a big
I
deal
never
to
went
me.
in with my bag either.
I mean, it wasn't a big
But-
deal to me because all my clothes have big pockets, like especially my Katsuya jacket. It's got like 10 pockets. But some people need to take in their bags because they have like medical problems and they need to take in like medical kits and stuff.
Well,
But-
it's another thing too, because it's like I brought the bag, but you know what I did? I just went through the weapons line. Like I went through the weapons line and said, "Here's my weapon, here's my bag." I brought water bottles because I'm like, I know I was gonna be thirsty. I know Josh was gonna be thirsty. Robbie, if I met up with him, or Edgar, or you. So I brought water bottles just in case if any of us actually passed out. So
Right.
I think it's a good idea to bring the bags.
Mhm.
Because yeah, like you were saying, John, that there's a lot of people who have medical issues or just need a bag on them for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think as far as like hydration is concerned, I think like if you don't have water on you, or if you decide not to buy water, off the top of my head, again, keep in mind this is my 7th year going, I think I can only remember like 2 water fountains that like you can go to. There's one in the entertainment hall, and I think there's one.
There are
By, like,
water fountains. They're just tucked away in obscure places.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
I remember where they were from last year, so it wasn't a big deal to me.
And the funny thing is, there's lines for the water fountains too.
Oh yeah.
I didn't
That's
see any lines.
Well, just the ones that are like visible, like
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the ones that are like John said, that are like tucked away. Those are those you won't find lines in, because those are obscured by.
I got most of my water from Robbie because he would go in and get from the
Oh.
Premier Lounge.
Yeah, that's another
So-
thing that you can do. Yeah, Premier Lounge. So about that, they also changed how that works. So basically, if you have a Premier badge, you can go into what's called the Premier Lounge, and you could just sort of like charge your phone, use the couch, just sit down, relax. And there's also sometimes they also have like random guests appear. This year I wasn't there long enough to kind of like check out to see who came in. But anyway, so what I would usually use it for is just get drinks or whatever from there.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, last time I got Premier Pass was you could basically kind of like grab what you need and then leave. But this year they kind of have like this whole vague interpretation where it's like, oh, you just have to kind of like drink it here and then you can get another one. So it's kind of like a cooldown.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of like a pseudo
It's like a
cooldown
rest
system where
station.
it's like, yeah, it's kind of like a pseudo cooldown system where it's like you drink what you have, that one thing that you have, whether it's water or soda. You can't get one of each, and then once you're done with that, then you can just grab another one. It's kind of weird.
That's
It's
weird.
vague.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Like you can't grab more than what you can't
The
like
problem
restock
is
for the whole
that
day.
you've paid money for a pass that's like worth 500 USD. You would think.
Let me take 2 friggin' water balls, man.
Yeah,
like, are you serious?
Yeah, like that barely costs like $1 a piece, you know? It's just
like just
instead of all the fucking money that you actually milked from all these attendees, it's like it's what you're being so cheap that you don't want to let this guy come out with a soda can or a water bottle. God forbid a water bottle.
Right?
Like, jeez, man.
So, yeah, the lines were not fun, but what did you guys do once you got in?
I went to the dealer's room.
Yeah, because I
who
mean,
was I with when I can't remember who I was even with when I got in. I think I was with Anthony and John. I think I got
day one, yeah.
I mean, I wasn't able to stay in that long because I had a Danganronpa photo shoot.
Oh yeah, I remember
right
that.
after I got in.
And then so me and Anthony basically went to like dealer's room and stuff, and we just went and explored basically, and it was good. Like there was nothing really wrong about it. I feel like the Atlas booth as well. That was the one thing that improved a little bit. Those lines were quick. I don't know about you, but they were really fast.
Here's the thing, and I'll tell you why those lines were quick. Okay, the Atlas booth this year was completely shit. Okay,
yeah, it was pretty shit.
For Atlas, and I'm sorry, there's a lot of people on here that are subscribed to you that are huge Persona fans. I'm an elitist, so I'm gonna say this right now. The merch selection there was so shit to the point where on even the last day when they were discounting items, there were like 1 or 2 people there.
That was pretty sad because compared to last year, it was like you had to wait like literally 20 minutes in the line.
It was packed, and they sold out super fast.
Yeah.
But like this year, the booth was so bad that they actually had leftovers to discount.
They did, yeah.
They had leftovers to discount.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, like I can't really think of anything that I really wanted besides maybe the Jack Frost plush and some of the keychains.
Yeah, like even
I'd also like to say as well that even though Anthony and John are correct about the Atlas booth being kind of bad, I will say the lines for waiting times were not as bad as last year. Like even the Aniplex booth, they had a system where you could get a card, come back and get in with your card. Like that makes sense. Last year we had to there was lines going around the thing 3 times, and then they cut the line, so you just had to kind of walk around the Aniplex booth and then jump in when they opened the line again.
Yeah.
So
and they should have done something similar for the Atlas booth, but keep in mind the Atlas booth wasn't that great this time around.
People weren't really dying to get in line.
Yeah.
No.
So and even merchandise when Atlas USA does merchandise, it's actually horrendous. Like I skipped out on getting the small chibi Jack Frost plush because the one last year was definitely better. And I'm kind of glad that I got that one instead. But this chibi plush, literally it was the size of the Morgana plush that people would get in the special editions. That's the thing too. Last year they were selling leftovers of the special edition, which arguably I would say that's a little bit better than what they had this year for Persona 5.
The best stuff this year was, ironically, the Catherine stuff.
Yeah.
Easily. It was the most creative stuff. You could buy Vincent's boxers, you had shirts that were aesthetically pleasing and
if
stuff.
you spent enough money, you also got this sheep headband.
Yeah, they put more effort into that than Persona stuff. Because Persona stuff was just oh look, it's just
it's like a Morgana tracksuit.
It's Morgana.
It's a gold Joker pin.
Yeah, a pin. $20. Or a Makoto shirt. We got a shirt from Makoto, but not the other characters. One of the worst characters in the game.
If we're saying in terms of content, which store was a little bit better, it was definitely the Aniplex booth because you had leftovers from last year as well. You had the ability to buy all the FGO shirts. You had the dual boxes on top of that. There was a lot more merch at Aniplex, and I mean, I'm giving a lot more praise for Aniplex because there's just more content to just buy from that booth. And plus, it was so well organized too. Like you had a ticketing system.
Yeah.
You can go in whenever you have
your
card,
ticket
you have a
is
specific time. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, Robbie, I couldn't get in the line for you.
That's
one day, but there's always next year.
Yeah.
But day one was kind of, I mean, we went around, we bought some stuff, but there wasn't really like a whole lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, well, most of the panels that I wanted to go to, I missed because I was in line. So the only thing I really did on day one was the Danganronpa photo shoot. And that wasn't even inside the thing.
But do we want to move on to day two now?
Yeah.
Because day two is the day that everyone did stuff.
Yeah.
Like we were all like, day two was amazing.
Like they fixed the whole line thing so people didn't have to wait as long. I mean, I didn't have my bag with me, so I don't think I waited in line for any more than 10 minutes.
And then move quickly.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, I didn't actually go to the dealer's room on Thursday, so I went on Friday, and then I got in line before everybody, so I bought them stuff. And then I just spent most of the rest of the day just kind of like reconnecting with some of the people I met last year. And then I went to this panel by Bandai Namco where they showed off some new games and they had some giveaways. That was fun. And yeah, what about you guys?
We'll do Anthony because Robbie and I have the same thing. We basically stayed together the whole day.
Okay.
So we're talking about day two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so day two, what had happened, let me see here. So day two, man, I don't even remember what I did on day two. Was I with
Weren't
John?
you with Edgar or somebody most of the
Yeah,
time?
I'm pretty sure you were with Edgar.
Yeah, I was with Edgar. So what had happened in day two? We decided to go into con for a bit. That didn't happen. Sorry, we only spent a little bit of time in there. I had to show Edgar the Atlas booth, so we went to the Atlas booth. I think we met up with Robbie, or you and Robbie, I believe, John.
For like a little bit, I think.
Yeah,
And
it
then
was
we
like a cameo appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Edgar was able to get his merch from there, and then from there, I think me and Edgar met up with his buddies that he met. We spent a little bit of time there. We experienced the second earthquake, which was heavier than the last one. And I thought that was a little trip because it was a little weird because it was heavier. Like that impact was.
Yeah, it was bigger. It was a 7.1, I think.
And so we were on like the 15th floor on a high-rise building. So think about that for a second.
Oh, that was a little bit.
Everything was shaking. Everything was shaking. Thank God nobody was hurt. It wasn't too bad. And then people were just like waiting around, just making sure there was aftershock. You never know.
Yeah.
So there's that. We also, the first day actually, me and Edgar did go to a party.
Well, what did we do, Robbie? Because we had an eventful day two.
Okay, so well, I guess day two was also exhibit hall for a little bit, but afterward, that was when I met up with you, Anthony. I think Edgar was there too, and I was like, hey, let's go to the Premiere thing. But then I also had a couple other buddies that I wanted to meet up with because Premiere, for me and a bunch of my other friends was pretty much like the highlight of the con that we really wanted to go to.
Sure.
And Josh here was really interested in coming too. And so we went in line, and the reason why I was okay with this line, because again, I had Premiere Pass, I could have easily just skip the line, do whatever.
Yeah,
but
and got him.
There was a few friends. Yeah, but there was a few friends of mine that I haven't. Oh, actually, no, just one friend, because there was another friend of mine that I haven't seen, also named Anthony, not this one. But we didn't get to meet up with him. But a friend of mine, Nate, that I haven't seen since last year's AX, and I'm like, yeah, I wanted to might as well stay in line, talk, and again, in its own way, it was kind of like reminiscent of just kind of like waiting in line for a big thing, but not as long. And we did manage to kind of go into another panel that started beforehand.
There was a few problems though with it, and the thing is, what AX does, and I don't particularly love what they do when they do this, but they have panels and premieres and stuff, and they have them back to back, and you're allowed just to sit in there. So you can sit in there if you get in. You can just like watch a panel, and no one will kick you out. And that's a problem for people outside that maybe just want to see premiere and they just came a little bit later, because you basically had to see JoJo before you saw premiere, or else you weren't getting in. Because everyone knew there was like hardly anyone who left the JoJo panel afterwards. After it was done, everyone just stayed for premiere.
Right.
And yeah, so it just got like weird.
Yeah, and then again, coming from me, because I'm a big JoJo guy myself, and again, coming from a big JoJo fan, the JoJo panel this year was pretty much all shit that we kind of already knew. It was like, oh, preview for the next episode. What does like let's all do like the 7-page long Muda.
Yeah.
But this year in particular, not so much. The series itself is wrapping up. Maybe if they had that hour-long conclusion special, then, that would have been something. But they didn't. They just had, like, basic stuff that we already knew, and that was it. But it was all...
It was all worth it, because we got to see premiere right after leaving and getting trapped outside.
Yeah, and we also got... too, because
we moved up.
Again, not a lot of people moved out of the main hall, but there were actually a few people that did, and of the people that did, we were able to like move up like a good several rows. Yeah. Actually, not several rows. We were in the back.
Really close.
Yeah, and then we
went
to the back.
Easily.
Yeah, and from the back we just moved all the way to the middle front row. There.
And Promare, like, no spoilers here, but Promare was amazing. The animation's like unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And it was definitely probably one of the highlights of the trip, just seeing that movie. Everyone was cheering. It was like...
It was an event.
It felt like a concert. It was weird. It felt like an actual, like, concert, because, like, every time something would happen, you just hear, like, uproar cheering. And even the Trigger staff commented on it, that we were way more into it than the Japanese people were when it premiered over there.
Yeah. Like, as far as I know, I think the film did, like, it did okay in Japan, but, like, the reception here was just like
over here was like
phenomenal.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it was really an experience, and if you can get a chance to go see premiere, please go watch it. It is really
shilling it.
I'm shilling it. It's really
I think I might get a kick out of it, because I heard something involving mecha. So
it does,
it's very mecha. It's very mecha, and it's very fight based. The story isn't like unbelievable, but it's very much less like. It's not about the story. It's about a showcase of animation. Mm-hmm. It's a spectacle. They don't care about the story as much. Anyways, after that happened, they had the panel, the Trigger panel.
It was basically a recap of what we saw from the movie, and then
the earthquake happened during the Trigger panel.
You guys felt it?
Yep.
I was in the band. I was in the Bandai panel at the same time. I didn't feel anything.
Wait, were you on the second floor?
No, I was on the first floor.
Oh, that's weird.
That's weird. But anyways, we felt it, and the whole area was shaking in there. And this is a big place. And all the Trigger staff were like, Daijoubu. Yeah, and it was kind of funny, but it was like scary too. Because everyone was like, should we stop it? Like, what is going on here? Something could fall.
Yeah. It's the energy that we had from the movie that
and then they made some jokes about it too. And it was all good though. It was a great experience. We saw some teasers for their next show, and yeah, the Trigger panel was definitely one of the highlights of my time at AX. Before that though, Rabbi snuck me in to a panel. Oh. That was funny.
The Made in Abyss voice acting panel. That actually went in really well, because this one volunteer that I swear to God looked and sounded like he came from like a Bill and Ted movie.
Yeah, he scared me a little bit. He was like, "Yo, did I check your passes?" And I was like, and Robbie's like, "Yep, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did."
The key point is to make it look and sound natural.
Yeah,
which is what I did on my part to make sure that Josh was able to get in.
And then he switched my badge around because they look almost identical from the back if you don't look too hardly at them.
Yeah, unless you look at the bottom of the pass, then it's pretty much identical, and it sucked. And then Josh right here was also like felt really bad too because he was like, "Holy shit! Like there's so many Premier fans and there's hardly any like normal fans."
There was, but it was like outside they fit everyone in, which was kind of amazing. But because of me sneaking, Robbie sneaking me in, we got really good seats and got to see really close. But yeah, that was just like. It felt like I was going for, like, smuggling drugs into the thing, man. Like I was like, they asked to see my badge one more time, and I literally just like flicked it upwards a little bit, and then they were like, "Okay, good." And I'm like, "Oh crap, I got in."
Yeah. I guess day 2 was definitely like the highlight. Like I think I went to to one photo shoot. I believe I went to an FGO photo shoot.
Oh, there was day 1 also had the AMV competition. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to that.
That was something that that I was able to get Josh into because so finding where the ticket thing was hell because me and again my friend that also had Premier badge, his name is David. He volunteered to come with me to find it because each attendee
get
could
two
get tickets.
Yeah.
And I told David like, hey, can you come with me so that way I know if you're not going, then could you at least give me your 2 tickets that you get?
Then,
like,
and then
sure.
it'd be 4 tickets that we could have, so it'd be good.
Yeah, and finding it took about an hour and a half, but it was all worth it because when I did, the seats and stuff were actually pretty good.
Oh yeah.
We were able to get like a good view and all that, and so I had a total of 4 tickets, and I didn't know this because John. I think you were busy at the Faku booth or something like that.
No,
I remember you said
I was reconnecting with a friend that I met last year.
Oh, okay. Because I was able to get Josh and our friend Edgar to come too. So
Ryan,
was like 3.
It wasn't Edgar.
No, it wasn't Edgar. Yeah, that was from last year. My bad.
Yeah, it was Ryan.
It was Ryan. Yeah. So us 3, and then I had but anyway. So we saw the AMV competition, and again, I have to say this because I was met before a lot, but this year's selection was pretty good. Presentation and some of the songs did not fit. I definitely could say that last year's was better as far as overall shows.
It was weird because they had some really amazing AMVs, like some like that Doll Trance one was absolutely amazing, and that won the whole thing. Actually, I found out.
Oh,
it won
nice.
The whole thing, yeah.
Nice.
It was like an amazing AMV, but then you had like some that were just like repeat songs, and then there was 2 back to back that were both Miyazaki ones with the same exact song, and I was like, what the heck?
I honestly thought they had a repeat because last year they had a situation where they had to repeat like 2 of the AMVs because one wasn't formatted in the
original way that they wanted it to.
And the other one,
original guy, yeah.
Yeah, and the other one had like a 60 frame rate, had a 60 FPS rather than like 24. But this one was just like legit 2 entirely different AMVs that had Miyazaki stuff and the same song, which was like a cover of World of Pure Imagination. And I'm like, I was sitting next to Josh and I was like, dude, are they playing the same AMV? Like,
it was weird, man. I was like, are you serious? Also, they had too many Your Line April AMVs too.
Oh yeah, Josh.
And that's just a personal thing. I don't like Your Line April, but they weren't bad.
Yeah. And then they also had the repeat. One of the repeat songs was also a song that.
And Robbie hated that song, so it was like bad for him.
Yeah.
I guess we could start talking about day 3 now.
Yeah. Day 3.
Yeah.
I mean, day 3 was like the one closer to the end of the.
Day 3, I hung out with Anthony all day, I think.
Mhm.
Well, day 3 you hung out with me until the very end. I think right after the FGO panel.
Yeah, right after the FGO panel. Yeah, because I went to where did I go? I can't even remember.
Went to pizza.
Oh yeah, I went to Pizza Next Door with Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what had
John
happened the whole day? I think I hung out with a couple of my Facebook friends from Mega10L, and we had a lot of fun. So what did we do first? I think what I did was we went to the dealer's room again just to see if we could pick up some stuff. I don't think I did pick up anything, but I think I did pick up something. I picked up more blind bags, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said day 2, if I didn't get anything from the Aniplex, I would go to Aniplex and just.
And then I think Anthony and I did we go to Artist Alley this day? I think we did.
Oh yeah, we did go to Artist Alley. We met up with Artist Black. She has amazing stuff. So like I know Josh wanted to get.
Yeah, shilling Black.
Yeah.
Get her keychains.
Get her keychains. They're so high quality, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Josh wanted some FGO and merch, so it was relatively cheap. I'd say it's a little bit better than buying the ones at Aniplex.
Yeah. I got some
cheaper, yeah.
I got some stuff from the Artist Alley too. I got some like that panel that you guys were talking about. They had Megaton keychains. I got keychains of the Devil Survivor protagonist and Doom guy. Yeah, and it was buy one get one free, so it was $5 for both of them. Like that's great.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
The problem is that the artist wouldn't be restocking them until at a later date, so that's the reason why they're like clearing out the shelves with it. Yeah, so the Artist Alley, that was one good thing. We bought a couple stuff there. We went to, I believe, the Megaton photo shoot,
which was
poo-poo.
It was
not well
organized. Okay, what happened was like apparently they moved, like they had cosplay sites and they moved site 3 to across the street from where the sign was, because where the sign was there was like no room to have a photo shoot, so they moved it across the street to where the stairs were, but they didn't tell anybody, so we had to be like we saw Megaton cosplayers there and we had to like wave them down.
At least John had a cool mustache.
That was the day before. That was for the Persona 2 thing I did, but that wasn't part of the convention.
The problem is that with that photo shoot, it was so like, it was so disorganized. Like I couldn't like say it was good. Like I couldn't like bring myself to words and say, hey, it was a great organized photo shoot. Like everybody seemed really bored, tired, like out of their mind. Like there's some people who are obviously happy, right? But of course, like, but what I'm saying is that the people around me were obviously like, I know Josh was definitely antsy, and like it was just a really weird environment. You know what I mean?
The only problem with photo shoots is like I'm not in cosplay, but I like taking pictures and stuff like that. But I felt with this photo shoot, it was just tense. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was due to some people not liking others at it, or it was just like maybe the fact that it was just really poorly done. There was just like people up there that were tired, because there was one pixie up there that literally was up there for all the shoots, every single one, because they kept repeating the same ones over and over again.
Well, the thing is,
to be fair,
go ahead.
The fact remains is that there's a lot of people who are just in like generic, like that can fit in every single series.
Yeah.
So what they thought was like, oh, just keep the same 2 people up there. I'm like, but they're gonna get tired, right? Like they're obviously gonna get exhausted.
I know the
there's
Pixie
no
and
point of, like,
the Pyro Jack got really tired up there, and they started like getting antsy and like not wanting to do it anymore after a while. And it was just, I don't know, it's just a really weird environment. No one was really like talking to each other either. Everyone was just kind of standing there taking photos.
And it sucked because the environment just didn't felt really, you know, upbeat. So it's like, the thing is every other panel every other photo shoot you go to, there's something going on. There's always that one energetic person that's like, you know, beefing up the whole crowd, you know. Just
there was no even music for the longest time at this panel.
Too. That's the thing, and it's like nobody was having like. It felt like everybody was just, you know, standing around, just taking pictures, whatever. And I don't know, like I felt like there's a lot of things that could have been done properly to make it an enjoyable experience for everybody.
Well, for me, I think the biggest like weakness that photo shoot has was the turnout. Like we didn't really have a lot of people.
Yeah,
and part of it's not LaRue's fault, because because of the whole location thing, and on top of that, it just wasn't in a good location to begin with.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and another thing
the one last year was a whole lot better.
I wanna address something too. Pictures did not come out well this year, just because of the lighting.
Well, yeah, it's because like
we were like in a cave.
Crap.
We were like in a cave and we had
Absolute
stairs,
crap.
but the stairs going up to it had like sun peeking through. So every single photo had like, you couldn't see anybody's face because the sun was coming down right on them.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was such a weird environment to be in, and it's like there was no like, I guess professional people who are taking, you know, professional cameras to actually like alter the image to where it's like
Yeah,
they could
I know,
like
right?
dissipate the sunlight from it. No, there's nobody who actually had a good camera at that photo shoot, and that was kind of disappointing in my opinion. So it's like when I had someone take out something with my phone, I could barely see myself, right?
Yeah.
Or in every other picture that I've seen with
And trust me, Anthony, I tried with your phone. I really did. I got different positions, and I was trying to get good pictures, but it just was not coming out good.
No, and that's fine.
Because if you went up to a certain height on the stairs, you couldn't see anything because the sun was just on your face.
Yeah.
So you had to like come down to the very bottom, but you didn't want to go down to the very bottom because like going up to the top is you can get better like area and width and stuff, and you have more room to work with.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
Like,
instead of being cloaked up with everybody else. But
yeah.
at the end of the day, the pictures didn't come out well. I ended up like posting like maybe one or two, but that's about it. Like,
yeah.
there was not much. Like that. The fact remains is that that photo shoot could have been done really, like, properly better. Even
it's
with
bad
that
when
space.
the Anime North one was like 20 million times better than the Anime Expo one.
But keep in mind, the Anime North and Anime Expo one, the Anime North one actually has like dedicated sites and locations. They like book these locations in advance. So like there's an online spreadsheet of where everything is.
It was just, I don't know, the Anime North one was just so much more like, maybe it's because we clumped Persona in, but there was more people there. There was more,
But the thing is, like, even if we put Persona in, like, the fact remains, everybody was still having a good time.
Yeah, there was like music blasting, people were shouting and saying like, because the thing is, everyone was like, even, I always mention this because I think to run a photo shoot, you gotta make it interesting. You gotta tell people what to do. You can't just be like, pose 1, pose 2, because people are just gonna be like, what do I do? So you gotta actually spell it out. Be like, do your first pose, and then do a meme pose, and then do something else, right? Like, you gotta spell it out for them so they know what to do, and that way you get a wide variety of different pictures.
Yeah. And the thing is, I made it, like, when we did have that photo shoot at Anime North, we made it all inclusive. So it was like, oh, everybody who didn't have their picture taken go up.
Come
right?
up, yeah. And
that includes all, like, all cosplayers. It doesn't
people
matter
who
who
were
the
late,
hell you are, right?
who came late to the thing,
Yeah.
and people who maybe were shy and didn't have like had a unique cosplay or something like that, or didn't want to go up the first time around, can like go up the second time and stuff like that. So it's not like we're just leaving people out.
And we did go over our time. Like, we did go over, like, maybe, like, 10 minutes. But the fact remains, nobody else came, like, within that 10 minutes. And plus, it started to rain, too. So it's like, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Like right when we were leaving, it started to rain.
Yeah. Yeah, but we
Luckily,
got the perfect shots before we went out.
Yeah, luckily we didn't have any, like, rain issue. In fact, actually, like, I know day one's lines were actually kind of bad, again, because of the heat. But at the very least, the weather overall was pretty mild.
The weather was honestly, way better than it was last year, put it that way.
Last year was miserable. It was like a heat wave.
Some people actually had to like bail from the photo shoot because of the heat.
Last year.
It was horrible.
I think though that again what happened basically this year was that we traded heat for earthquakes.
Basically.
Yeah.
Actually, Toronto got California's heat because there was
basically
actually back home. So I was like, what is going on? Did we switch places?
I know, right? and Toronto's heat is like way worse because it's like humid and it's gross. Like today was really disgusting out.
Mm-hmm. But
it's been really hot over here too in Kansas.
Yeah.
But
anyways, that photo shoot was bleh.
Yeah,
but
what'd you guys do after the photo shoot?
I think we went to the FGO panel.
Yeah, no, that was Yeah, that was on day 3, right?
We did go to the FGO panel. Pretty much everything we knew that was gonna happen happened.
Yeah, because we both played JPs, so it's like we knew exactly what was
so
gonna
we knew
happen.
what features were
But it's still
gonna be
kind of an experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
and
I mean,
the voice actors were kind of cool to like.
Yeah.
Talk like that. They were talking.
I liked Elizabeth's actor the best because she was like, kind of not. She was kind of just like trolling everyone, because I remember she said, "Who's your favorite servant?" And she was like, "Ozzy because he's hot," and I was like, "Lol, that's funny." While Saber's voice actress was just like, "I like Saber because I voiced her for 13 years." It's like, well, that's obvious.
That makes sense.
yeah. After that, I had like right after the Megaton photo shoot, I had a Darling and the Franks photo shoot. But when I was on the way back to the hotel to change, I actually saw some protesters. And then if you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw that meme.
Oh
that
yeah,
I made.
the protesters.
Yeah, I'll post I'll have that as a picture like of in the video. But yeah, the Darling and the Franks photo shoot was kind of meh. There was like barely any turnout.
Well, think about it this way:
because it's a year old.
It's a year old, and there's new animes out. Like,
Yeah.
nobody gives a shit about.
It's
something
not even the
that
most
lasts-
recent Trigger show. Like,
No.
please.
Though what sucks is that
You probably have a better turnout at Gridman than Darling in the Franks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But and then after that, I just kind of hung out with some more friends that I met last year, and then the last thing I did was I went to this Steins Gate party in the lounge, but it wasn't really much of a party because they didn't really have anything going on. They just had Steins Gate music, and then they had cutouts of characters on stage, but.
Ooh.
The drinks they had at the bar were really good, and then I sat down and played Uno with some people. That was fun. What about you guys?
Uno.
Uno.
You played Uno.
Yeah, it
At
was
a
fun.
party. Oh, I mean, okay.
What did we do night 3?
We got some pretty intense games.
Okay, so what happened was that we went
Didn't we go to the
I
rave
went-
or whatever?
So
Night 3?
no, did we? Go
Yeah, we
to-
did.
No, we didn't go to the rave.
Yeah, we went to the rave night 3. We went to the club night 2, and then night. Yeah, we did that, didn't we?
Oh, okay, yeah, I think we did. I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't remember. But basically, day 3, like right after the FGO panel, me and Josh parted ways. Josh decided to go get food. I was out of it. Like, I really wanted to get the last FGO photo shoot because this was like the fan made one, and the fan made one was definitely a lot better because I kept getting called up for pictures too, and I felt really happy because it's like there's so much things you could do with this said character, and it was like
Yeah.
yeah, it was great. Like, even though it was really late at night, I kind of like I would rather have that than the Aniplex one, because the Aniplex one, what they were trying to do, they had this small stage to work with, and they had all these, like, at least there was a good 500 cosplayers outside of the entertainment hallway, leading outside the doors too. So it's like, you're trying to fit all those cosplayers on the small stage, and I'm like, no, just call up by series. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, don't push
right?
everybody to the corner. Like, people have props. Their costumes are big. Stop doing this. It's like you're making this more complicated than it already has to be, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks because it's like you would think that the official people, like the people who run the content and all that stuff, that would know how to do things in a professional manner, rather than just, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I know. A lot of the stuff was just way too packed to like go to the official things. You had to go to underground stuff to actually like have fun,
Yeah.
for the most part, because like I don't know about you, but Anime Expo just is so busy. Like, there's just so many people.
Do you guys think that they should cap the number of attendees off?
I mean, I don't know. Like, they want money, right? And it's like a
Yeah.
Yeah.
we want everyone to experience it too.
They
like,
need
Anime
better
Expo's an
organizers.
experience, but they need better organizers. Maybe like more venues. Like I don't know, rent like a hotel. You got lots of money. This thing rakes in dough.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they
Like,
did have the
maybe
events
get, like, a
that
different-
were going on outside the convention center. Like there was that party at the bar that Ant and I went to on day 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like
That's not AX. Yeah.
that's not AX, right? That was literally
Yeah.
just some Discord party, right? It was like, you know,
Yeah.
It's just also like, I don't know if it's just because people were talking about it, like, maybe it's just the Los Angeles Convention Center. Maybe it's just a little bit too small now for the amount of people that are going.
Yeah. Well,
It's
like,
been a long time since they switched convention
Well,
centers.
there
Like, people were
was-
talking about going back to Anaheim.
but they're not doing that. It's been confirmed that they're going to be at the LAX Expo Center next year.
What they need is just better organizers, because again, it wasn't that big of an issue last year, because we barely have like a 5,000 person increase.
Yeah.
Like Josh said, and honestly, yeah, they just need like better organizers. The metal detectors or whatever needs to be a lot more efficient, like they did with day 2, 3, and all that. Because again,
Yeah.
like day 1 was just mainly the issue with all of the different like, like all the lines and stuff. Like that wasn't a problem before.
I get why. I mean, like, again, with the recent events going on, the amount of people there, like, you got to make sure people are safe going to this convention.
Yeah.
But, like, you could do it a little bit faster, get some more staff, maybe some more entrances opening, some more metal detectors.
Yeah.
Really just get people through the line as quickly as possible so that people can enjoy the convention, because people paid to go there. They didn't pay to stay out in the sun and burn. They paid to go to the convention and enjoy themselves in the air conditioned, They paid to get the best experience. And when you have a day 1 experience that most people didn't even get in until like 5 p.m. On day 1, like, that's not getting the most of your weekend. Thank goodness that they fixed it, because otherwise, like, day 1 I was like, yo, we're gonna be in trouble if this is like this, because I don't want to waste my money going to California from Canada, because people travel all over the world. Anthony and I are from Canada. We're not from America, so it's like, please.
Yeah,
Just-
we'd like to have the best experience possible. But anyways, I think we should try to sum up this real quick. Like,
Yeah.
Because
day 4.
yeah, I can't remember doing anything on day 4.
Day 4 was
I
just
just-
like
I just
kind of
kinda
a
was
like
just
good
a
day.
panel, and for me it was just a panel, and just buying whatever else I want from like the
Yeah.
artist alley and all that. That was it.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
I
just
honestly didn't even go to the artist alley till day 4.
Last
Yeah.
minute stuff. Although one thing that I didn't get a chance to do because of the line and the fact that I had like places to be was I wanted to try that Persona 5 food truck, but the line was like really long. So so I figure, okay, I'll just go on Sunday because the line's not going to be as long. So
It was
I
so
go
long.
up to the truck and I ask the people like, how long are you going to be here till? And they're like, we close the line off at 6. So I go do some more stuff, and then I come back at like, I think it was like 2 or 3, and then they told me that the line was closed off.
Yeah, they closed early.
So I tweeted them about it, and they're like, and they told me that the people at AX just came in and just told them to pack up, like basically out of nowhere.
Yeah, Anime Expo closed early. They were
It
supposed
did.
to close at 6, and they closed at like 3. And I was
Yeah.
like, what? Because Anthony and I tried to get back into the convention after going to get something to eat.
Yeah. So,
And we tried to, and then we found out like no one was getting into the convention.
Yeah,
So we were
and-
like,
and
what?
did any of
and
you
then-
guys try that Persona 5 food truck?
No.
No.
The line was too big. I was like, I just want food. I don't care
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Like
eating more
I
goddamn
wanted
dessert.
I mean it was expensive, but like I wanted to try
It's
it
kinda
because it's
dumb.
like you can
It's
only
not-
get it.
It was dumb. It was
Yeah.
just, it was just novelty.
I will be honest with you. I wouldn't even buy that shit. To be honest, I was like, it was not even worth it. I was like,
The only thing that's kind of like I would buy is the Morgana dessert, because that's the only thing that looked like
That
a
looked
little bit
so
unique.
good.
It looked unique, so I was like, I'd probably get that and try it. But all the other ones are just like generic burgers.
Well, the problem was like on top of the line, it was like $25 for the full meal.
Oh yeah,
like-
it was. Oh
And
gosh.
and apparently the reason is because Anime Expo takes like 25% of their profit.
yeah.
Like 25% really? It shouldn't be any
God.
more than 10. That's freaking dumb.
the amount of money, like I was trying to save money. I ended up saving $100 in American money, which was good for our entire trip because Anthony and I stayed a few extra days.
Yeah, I actually ended up putting everything on my credit card. I didn't use cash too much. I know Josh pulled out an absurd amount of money.
I pulled out 470 USD, and I ended up spending most of it.
I pulled out maybe about 200 USD, and I ended up having like maybe like $40 at the end of it.
Yeah.
Because I put everything on my credit card. I said, "Hey, do you guys take card?" "Yes." "Go ahead, take the card." And
yeah.
It didn't lock me out this time around, so I'm actually kind of pleased. But anyways, yeah, that's like pretty much it. Like, day 4 was really dead. After day ended, me and my friends, like, we went to Little Tokyo. We explored there.
Yeah, that was fun. And then the next day we went to Palmdale. And then Anthony and I got trapped in Palmdale.
Nice. Yeah, I saw you guys talking about that in the group chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually planning.
The trains are really stupid. And it was like a nightmare.
Yeah, I was actually planning to stay longer too, but then when I got my summer job, they're like, "Oh yeah, you can't take that many days off," so I just shortened it.
Yeah. But it was a great trip. Anthony and I, you know, stayed a few extra days, but Anime Expo was like, other than day 1, I think it was pretty good. It was better than last.
You think it was better than last year?
In terms of me and Anthony, because we only went for 3 days last year, and it was like we barely even did anything
that makes
really.
Sense. Yeah, but, I mean, like, yeah, I would not say that this year was better than last year, and that's mainly because the lines on day 1 were a whole lot worse.
Oh god, yeah.
And the content as well.
And it just felt like there wasn't as much to do as there was last year. And there was of course also that whole time crunch thing, like I can't wait in line for food because if I do, I'm gonna miss a panel.
Exactly, yeah. That's the problem with Anime Expo, because you have to get there if you really want something. Like, for example, Promare. We got to Promare like 3 hours early, and there was still a line that was like incredibly long. So like you'd have to wait. Some people I heard were waiting for 12 hours for Promare. Like, that's your whole day gone, right?
Yeah.
For one thing. And if you're like a true, you know, panelist and you go to all these panels and you go to all these events and stuff like that, you kind of need the premiere badge just so you can get into everything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no way you're gonna get into everything.
But yeah, like if I were to rate this year's con on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give this year like a 7. Like I don't regret going out, but it's still a step down from last year, which last year was easily a solid 9 out of 10. But, like, in fact, the only thing preventing it from being a 10 was that crappy party that Ant and I went to.
You're being generous, but I would give it a 6.5. I'd give it a 10 out of 10 when it came to social interaction. Like, I had a lot more fun talking with people than I did enjoying the con, so that says a lot more about what you're actually going for, right? And if you're, like, an introvert, like, I mean, it sucks for you guys, because it's like, you're only going there for what? To buy stuff, go to panels and all this stuff. Yeah. But you can't even get into the panels. You can't buy stuff. So it's like, what's the point, right? So,
yeah.
I think I had a lot of fun just so
I would rate it, honestly. I'm not the type to go in and socialize super heavy. And being with Robbie and going to all those panels and seeing Promare and everything, I'd honestly rate it a 10, not 10, an 8 out of 10, because I think that I enjoyed myself a lot more than last year, because last year I was kind of lost. I didn't know what to do, really. I didn't really have anybody who was like taking me to panels and stuff like that, which is what I like to do at conventions. But this year I felt like I did everything I could, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean,
with the 4-day pass.
What would you rate last year?
Probably like a 6.5 or a 7.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, I mean,
it was the first year.
Well,
so
you guys also had to leave early.
Yeah. I didn't feel satisfied after I got back home.
Yeah, like as someone who stayed for all 4 days, or actually, well, I didn't go to the pre-show, but I was there for 5 days last year. I'd give it a 9 out of 10, and like I said, only thing preventing it from being a 10 was that shitty Faku party.
Yeah.
That sucked. Like the line was really long. It was really crowded. The place reeked. Just yeah.
Yeah.
But
But-
It was the last time we saw Etika alive, so there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also
That's true.
yeah. Rip Etika.
what about you, Robbie?
9.5. I enjoyed everything that I did over there. Again, lines.
That's because you have the Premier Pass.
Well, hey, he paid more for it, so it's good that he got a better experience than us.
Yeah, one of the best years in my opinion. I got a lot of good pictures. I was able to. My cosplay came out super great. The first cosplay I did, not a lot of people recognized. I did Ryo Hazuki from Shenmue. I guess not a lot of people played it, but the second cosplay I did, which was Hyakimaru from the new Dororo anime, I got a lot more people to recognize me and take pictures and stuff. So that was really cool. I got to buy all the stuff that I wanted to buy. I got to go to the panels I wanted to go to. But again, bias because Premiere fan plus the hotel that, by the way, which we all stayed in was super close.
Oh yeah, that was great.
So everything was super walking distance. And again, other than like going into it the first time for day one, and again like go with the 20-minute bullshit that they did, I was able to get in everything that I wanted to do and more. Definitely one of the best years for me. Last year was also really good too. I'd probably rate that one like an 8.8 or so. Weird number, I know, but yeah, this year was definitely one of the better years. I know, right? 7.8, no, 8.8, no, this time. But yeah, 9.5 for me for sure.
Okay,
right.
and with that, I have to go, guys.
All right.
So I will.
Yeah,
I'll see you all later.
All right. Is there
Bye.
anything
Bye.
else? Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, I guess if there were a couple of regrets that I have, I guess going into what we, I wish there was more room for our hotel, but that's a separate matter. There was a lot of conflicting stuff going on. There were like 2 or 3 Lupin things that I had to drop, which was essentially all of them. Because there were the Euphonium movie premiere, there was the Atsushi Okubo live drawing, which I didn't talk about previously, but that happened day one that I also had to like go drop. Not the Okubo live drawing, but the Lupin. It was like a Lupin 1971 screen, and yeah, a bunch of other things that I had to drop. I had to drop Comedy Night too, because that was going on around the same time that the rave was happening at day 3. But the line for that one, again, I didn't know if it was for the premiere fans or not, but that one was super long. And I guess in general, I honestly didn't want to go to Pizza Next Door twice. I kind of only wanted to do that like once, and that was it. I kind of wanted to like also go to like maybe Aladdin or basically like a Bangladeshi restaurant that was like close by. But yeah, like I said.
What was the name of that restaurant, that Indian
That we
restaurant
went
you
to
took
last
us to last year?
Oh, the Bangladeshi restaurant that we went to last year was Aladdin.
Oh,
Aladdin.
okay. Yeah, I wanted to go there too.
Yeah. Again, there's always next year. So.
Yeah.
I think my regrets is, I guess, pictures. Compared to last year, I didn't get a lot of pictures. Also, I spent most of my time in the line too, which is that.
Yeah.
And I tried to make sure I got I made sure that I was always active on every night. Like I didn't really miss a beat, but even then, it felt really bad. But regardless, it's like, what can you do?
Yeah.
It's AX.
I mean,
way it was organized.
I think
this year was just kind of whatever.
Yeah, I think my biggest regret is staying in the bag line in day 1, because if I could have gotten out of line, taken my bag back to the hotel, and then went through the no bag line in the time, like in probably half the time that it took me to get into the bag line.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess
But yeah.
that's pretty much it. Like, if
Any
you guys want to go to AX, it's like fine by me, but keep in mind what you guys have to look out for. I would suggest if you're going for LA for the first time, spend the extra day so you're actually going there to enjoy like LA itself, because it's still a better experience. Like there's a lot of places to go, like Long Beach, and
especially if you're coming from far away.
Yeah, like just go there and try and visit each and every single part of California, because And the transit system it's great. Like, I mean, other than the time it shut down on us, but it was great because we got to where we wanted to be. And again, use Uber if you can. If you're, like I said, this trip, if you're planning it out, make sure you have the money as well. I wouldn't recommend it if you're coming across the globe, because it literally, like, if you live where it's like, I don't know, today's Thursday. If it's like Friday over there where you live, it's like, don't even bother coming here. You're gonna you're gonna feel like crap.
Like, don't. If you're gonna come to America, like, for Anime Expo, don't come just for Anime Expo. Come to experience Los Angeles and just do Anime Expo as a bonus.
And come a day, like a few days early, so then you actually can adjust to like the time zone and everything, right? Because that matters too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's everything for me.
And also, I also do have one tip for people that are looking to travel, but this mainly applies to people in the US. The best time to book plane tickets is in the winter time, like around December or January, because that's when I booked my plane tickets, and it was $150 for a round trip.
I think I bought mine a little bit earlier. I bought mine in November, so.
Yeah. Well, you guys don't have Southwest. You flew with. What'd you fly with? Air Canada.
WestJet this time.
Oh, okay.
But I like, if you're coming from Canada, arguably Air Canada is a little bit better because you actually have better seats and you have better accommodations and probably even maybe a better food menu. So there's that. WestJet was kind of like really budget, but I mean, an airline is an airline. Just eat before you get on.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else you guys want to say?
I think that's everything for me. I don't know about Robbie, if you want to add anything.
Super looking forward. I just let the organizers get their shit together, and then I'm also, again, my friend was in charge for the hotel. I'm gonna be in charge of it, so I'm hopefully gonna be carrying on the torch of finding a place for all of us to stay. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, all in all, again, looking forward for next year.
Yep. Oh yeah, also I'm also going to be at Anime Weekend Atlanta this year, so I might do another one of these videos. Just tell me what you guys think in the comments if you want me to do more of these for the cons that I go to. And also, 2 quick announcements. I got 2 Megaton videos coming up soon. First one is a tier list that I'm doing with NeosAntrax, and the next one is my introduction to Megami Tensei, so be sure to stay tuned for that.
Swear to God, if you tell anyone to start with Persona 3, I'm unsubscribing.
Alright.
I'm actually serious. But anyways.
Okay. Alright, well, anyways, guys, thank you for listening, and we will see you guys later.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye!